hoping that it's recorded. I've just done it, and we've not recorded the last 5 minutes of the video, so I'm going to start again. But it's founded. AEW was founded in 2019 by Tony Khan, with professional wrestlers Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, Matt and Nick Jackson as the vice presidents. This was after the success of All In 2018. AEW roster primarily appears on Dynamite and Collision, as well as streaming and pay-per-view programming. They also appear in events produced and co-produced by other promotions, including Ring of Honor, that was acquired by Tony Khan in 2022. It's available in 220 territories and 50 languages. So then we're going to get into the history and the formation. So in May 2017, professional wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer commented that that Ring of Honor could not sell 12,000 tickets for a wrestling event. This has not been done since WCW. Besides WWE, this hasn't been done since WCW in 1999. The comment was responded by Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, who were top stars of Ring of Honor. So they promoted and held an independent professional wrestling event called All In September of 2018, featuring wrestlers from ROH and other promotions, and the event sold out in 30 minutes. And had the largest audience attendance in professional wrestling show in the United States, and held organized by promoters not affiliated with WWE or WCW since 1993. The event was attended by 11,263 people. The event was acclaimed and led to an online speculation that Cody and Young Bucks began to create their own professional wrestling promotion and doing its second All In event. And so on November 5th, 2018, several trademarks were filed in Jacksonville, Florida. The names included were All Elite Wrestling, AEW, All Out, AEW, Double or Nothing, Tuesday Night Dynamite, AEW, Double or Nothing, and several logos. Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks and had Adam Page. Several other wrestlers left ROH. The official announcement of AEW's creation came on January 1st, 2019, on an episode of Being the Elite. And on January 2nd, 2019, Cody and the Young Bucks and Paige officially signed for the promotion. Paige became a wrestler, and Cody and the Young Bucks were both the executive vice presidents and competitors. While Tony Khan announced that he was the president of the company, and Tony's father, Saeed, was reportedly backing the promotion, lead to the investor. Cody's wife, Brandy, became the CBO, or the Chief Brand Officer. On January 8, 2019, the company held its inaugural press conference on the face course of TAA Bank Field, where they announced the talents were going to perform as part of the promotion, including former ROH wrestlers of SoCal Uncensored, independent wrestlers Britt Baker, Joey Janela, MJF, Penelope Ford, and former wrestlers, WWE wrestlers Pac and Chris Jericho. February 7th, 2019, they held a press conference where tickets were released, Double or Nothing. Other big announcements, including Kenny Omega become the fourth co-executive vice president and signings of Sammy Guevara, the Lucha Brothers and Best Friends. In May 2019, AEW and Warner Media announced a deal for the weekly primetime show, airing live on TNT. The network that formerly held WCW's Monday Nitro during the Monday Night Wars. CBS Sports described AEW as the first company with a major financial backing to swing at the beginning of the compete with WWE on the major level of nearly 2 decades. May 25th, 2019, AEW produced their first ever pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, and it took place at MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, suburb Paradise, Nevada, and Jon Moxley debuted on that day, who's formerly known as Dean Ambrose in WWE. Also during Double or Nothing, Bret Hart unveiled the AEW World Championship belts. During the summer, they produced 2 more events, Fighter Fest and Fight for the Fallen, August 31st, 2019, AEW produced a second pay-per-view, All Out, as a spiritual successor to All In. At the event, the Women's World Championship belt was unveiled in the main event. Chris Jericho defeated Hangman Adam Page to become first ever AEW champion. On September 19th, TNA's website listed AEW show as AEW Dynamite. The 1 hour preview show, scheduled on October 1st at 8 pm. On October 2nd, Dynamite debuted on TNT, which averaged 1.409 million viewers, which made it the largest television debut in TNT in 5 years. Also, October 2nd, WWE's NXT would make a 2 hour debut on USA Network. They averaged 891 viewers. It won 891,000 viewers. Dynamite beat out NXT viewership and more than double its competition in key adults 18 to 49. This would also be marked the beginning of the Wednesday Night Wars. Prior to this, after the episode, untelevised matches were filmed for the AEW Dark on the following Tuesdays, except for the pay-per-view events. The episodes were Fridays, and on AEW's YouTube channel. And on November 9th, AEW introduced their third pay-per-view event, Full Gear. In the main event, John Moxley defeated Kenny Omega in a lights out match. January 5th, 2020, Modern Media and AEW announced a $175 million contract extension for Dynamite and TNT through 2023, and the AEW will be launching an upcoming second weekly television show, later revealed as AEW Rampage, on airing on Friday nights. So the effect of COVID-19 as other sports cancellations and postponements were being announced in March 2020, AEW began impacted by the American onset of COVID-19, following the suspension of the NBA after 2 players tested positive. The March 18th episode of Dynamite was held without spectators at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. That year's Double or Nothing was supposed to take place on May 28th, but on April 8th, MGM Garden Arena announced that they would cancel all events up to through May 31st due to the pandemic. That at that point, Nevada had a state of emergency, banning all gatherings indefinitely. In response, AEW announced the Double or Nothing would proceed as planned at Daly's Place, as well as TA Bank Field for the main event match. The Florida Governor Ron DeSantis had deemed AEW, like WWE, an essential business critical to the state's economy, and had added exception under the state of stay-at-home order for the employees of professional sports and media production that is closed to the public and that has a national audience. In an interview on AEW's unscripted program, Tony Khan stated that the pandemic was deprived AEW of millions of dollars of revenue from live events. On August 3rd, Jazzwares released their first AEW action figures. AEW announced that they returned ticketed fans live events on August 20th. This following the Centers for Disease and Control Prevention guidelines were including the wearing masks, for physical distancing and temperature checks, beginning with their August 22nd episode of Dynamite. They were allowed up to 10% capacity at Daly's Place and up to 15% capacity, starting with that all out. As you see, I'm talking quite quick, so I want to get this done. But on November 10th, 2020, the promotions announced AEW games. They revealed 3 games that were in development: AEW Casino, AEW Elite GM, Fight Forever, that was developed by Yux. For WWE North's pay-per-view in May 2021, the venue was raised to full capacity, making it the first time they held full capacity crowd since March 2020. So returning to live touring and on RH purchase, they announced that they would be returning to live touring, beginning with the special episode of Dynamite Road Rager in Florida. Road Rager was the first of the 4-week span of special Dynamite episodes called the Welcome Back Tour, which continued with a 2-part Fight Fest in Cedar Park and Garland, Texas, respectively. Then concluded with Fight for the Fallen in Charlotte, North Carolina. AEW announced in September 22nd episode of Dynamite would be another special episode titled Grand Slam, and would be AEW's New York debut. city primarily known for WWE's home territory. CM Punk joined in August 20th, 2021. This was his first comeback from professional wrestling after leaving WWE 2014. August 27th, it was revealed that Dark would begin being taped within its own set. March 2nd episode of Dynamite, Tony Khan announced that they would purchase a Ring of Honor and from Sinclair Broadcast Group, including brand assets, intellectual property, video library. It was clarified through press release issued that night that the basically but now belonged to Tony Khan, not AEW. Following the All Out in 2022, then reigning AEW champion CM Punk used the post pay-per-view media scrum air out character grievances against multiple roster members, including Colt Cabana, Adam Page, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks. After the portion of the scrum ended, it later emerged that Punk and his friend Ace Steel had a legitimate brawl with Omega and the Young Bucks, Christopher Daniels, following the Bucks and Omega storming into the locker room. The incident was dubbed the Brawl Out. In the aftermath, all involved were suspended, and Omega and the Bucks were stripped of their titles. Punk was stripped of his. Steel's contract was terminated by AEW a month later. Buck and Omega returned to full gear, and Punk returned the following June after undergoing surgery from an injury. February 1st, 2023, AEW announced that they would be expanding live event schedule and would be doing house shows. So it was to be a show series, AEW House Rules. And then May 17th, 2023, AEW announced the third weekly television show titled AEW Collision, with its first episode featuring Punk's return through company and Luchasaurus capturing the AEW TNT Championship from Wardlow. AEW released A Fight Forever in June 2023 after years of development. It received mixed reviews, being praised for its throwback arcade gameplay but criticised for its limited presentation. In August 2023, AEW held the All in Wembley Stadium at a pay-per-view that received critical acclaim, with a live paid attendance of 72,265. It became one of the highest attended in professional wrestling. The event was notable for being CM Punk's final event, as he was fired with clause by Khan and the discipline committee following the legitimate backstage altercation with Jack Perry, and Perry was also later suspended indefinitely. So after the All In event in London, they announced they were going to do another one in August 25th, 2024, and tickets went on sale December 1st, 2023. This one was notable for featuring former WWE wrestler Ricochet, Jamie Hayter, a professional British wrestler, and Sting, and also Nigel McGuinness as in-ring to return after his retirement in 2011. So, in October 2024, AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery announced a multi-year contract extension. The contract maintained that most of the AEW's existing programs on TBS and TNT, aside from Rampage, which was cancelled, while adding digital rights for Max. Beginning in January 2025, later in 2025, AEW's pay-per-view will become available as purchased via Max, although they will still be held via the television providers and other platforms. They will be sold in discount Max, and the service would be promoted on the main outlet for pay-per-views. In January 2026, amidst the proposed Netflix acquisition of Warner Bros. Studio assets, it was reported that Warner Bros. Discovery owns the minority stake of AEW. Well, this one, it's taken 5 minutes off this one, the last recording, so I'm hoping this one's actually got things. But because they were only 7 years old, we don't have as much information as what the others will have. The other ones have done. So this one isn't going to be long, but I felt like I needed to put a quick video out. I know it sounds very rushed, but I do have other things to do today. And I was getting a bit annoyed because it didn't record the first time, so you're skipping my voice half the time. So I'm hoping this time it works. But yeah, this is just a quick video that I wanted to get out, basically. So if you just check TikTok, there's more videos on there for you.